Good morning. I decide today to wade in troubled waters. But then, what's a lawyer's worth if he doesn't do that? I'm going to talk today about somebody who's trending all over the internet, a girl by the name Gurmehar Kaur. She happens to be the daughter of a Kargil war hero, a martyr, Captain Mandeep Singh. So, news quickly. Gurmehar Kaur is a student. She poses with a placard which says, Pakistan did not kill my dad, war killed him. So, she said something to that effect, that it's not Pakistan that killed my father, it's actually war. And she gets backlash in the form of violent threats and outright abuses and what we call now trolling. So Gurmehar Kaur, for whatever reason, says her father was not killed by Pakistan but was killed by war, and that raises the heckles of our jingoists and they go after her. They threaten to rape her and so on and so forth, and before you know, in the brouhaha jumps our own Virender Sehwag, and then he says, it is not me who scored a triple century or whatever, it is my bat. And then Randeep Hooda, an actor who I thought was a very sensible and intelligent man, who I think still is, he supports Virender Sehwag and all hell breaks loose. So there is a pro Gurmehar Kaur camp and there is an anti Gurmehar Kaur camp. So the anti Gurmehar Kaur camp says that she is a traitor. She is a traitor and she deserves to be punished for throwing up anti-India sentiments. I am coming to the legal points, but before I get there, let me tell you, India and Pakistan do an enormous amount of trade with each other, and that trade value which India and Pakistan do with each other is
$4.71 billion in the year 2013-14.
$4.71 billion was the trade value between India and Pakistan. Out of that, India's share was
3.99 billion.
3.99 billion US dollars. India exported to Pakistan and Pakistan imported to India. I mean, through Pakistan we did business of
$0.72 billion.
$0.72 billion. So, while these billions of dollars are being traded very happily between two countries, you have a bunch of people who are fighting about patriotism or the lack of it. Now, having said that, let me tell you how Gurmehar Kaur is right in and within her limits as far as the law is concerned. Quickly moving on to Article 19, subsection 1, subsection A. And I will read it out. It's very clear. Protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech. All citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression. So, Gurmehar Kaur says, Pakistan did not kill my father, war did. I don't think any reasonable minded person in this country can consider that as being a threat to the unity and sovereignty of this country. So now that she is within her rights, anybody threatening her with dire consequences for speaking up is probably standing in clear violation of laws. I am very delighted to hear that the Delhi Commission of Women, DCW, has rushed 24-hour protection in terms of security, physical security to young Gurmehar. And I am also glad to note that a lot of well-meaning citizens have stood up for her. Article 19(1)(a) clearly gives you the right to say what you want, how you want, provided it does not run foul of the following restrictions which are enshrined in Article 19, subsection 2. There are 8 restrictions on your freedom of speech. So your freedom of speech is not expansive and extensive enough to include any and all kinds of liberties. They are curtailed, verily so, by these 8 provisions. As long as you don't fall foul of these 8 provisions, you're free to say what you want. Times has interestingly provided a Times view, and I'm requesting Suman to scroll the Times view, and I'll just read quickly. Those making these threats to the girl must be prosecuted to the full extent of law. The government insists charges of fostering an atmosphere of intolerance are misplaced. It is time it walked the talk by nailing those who use intimidation to silence those who differ. So, the trend now is that you say something, anything, and somebody will decide whether you are Indian enough or not. So, if I were to say, I like Imran Khan's bowling, there is a likelihood that somebody in India will feel, oh, there goes a traitor. If I say, I like Ustad Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, he will immediately point out, there goes a traitor. He doesn't like Zakir Hussain from India. He likes Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan from Pakistan. Now, while people are busy at this, don't forget, there is a trade of $4.7 billion between two countries and they are doing very well. I think everybody here is wasting their time. I have just dwelled on your right to speech. I will now like to tell you that there is another provision in the Indian Penal Code which you should not fall foul of, and that is Section 500 of the Indian Penal Code 1860 and Section 504 of the Indian Penal Code 1860. Okay, 500 is defamation, we will not go there. 504, intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of peace. So, if I say something bad about some other religion, you're in trouble naturally, because the Constitution of India's provision 19(1)(a) does not give you the right to go ahead and insult somebody else's religion, so on and so forth. Use your common sense, this should be good. So, feel free to air your views, provided they do not get hit by the restrictions that are totaling number 8 in Section 19(2) of Article 19(2) of Constitution of India. And please note that Section 504 of the Indian Penal Code should also be adhered to. You cannot end up doing something which causes a riot. And most importantly, I think it's better that we all engage in work and trade rather than jingoism. Thank you for watching me. My attempts to simplify Indian laws shall continue unabated. Your support and love shall take it further than what it already is. Thank you.